It's getting closer and closer to decision time on the final roster for this front office. We got to talk about a few. We're going to break down a couple different videos over the next few days about all the different decisions. And for this one, I'm going to break down two positions that are kind of like lurking in the back of my brain about what's going on. Haven't necessarily been front and center, but nonetheless could play a key role in what the Seahawks need to do to finalize at least the initial look that they are going to go with. What's happening, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Seahawks Digest, the show that is like we bottomed out for the last couple episodes with the injuries, and now we're looking forward and we're back on the positive train. I'm still confident about this season, and if you are confident as well, if you want to like, subscribe, comment, share, follow, all those other YouTube buttons, great. If not, no worries. What I got for you today, like I said, a lot of discussion of these type of articles are coming out of final projections at the 53 man. Here's what we're looking at. In all of that, though, one thing that I had not necessarily thought about, and then it comes up on the Googling around and the scrolling that I do every day as I just peruse the internet for stories. And I saw this and I'm like, this is an unfortunate, just stupid thing about football is that like it feels like kickers are good right up until they're not, and there's no slow descent and aging, and it's just all of a sudden like they just implode. And I had not really considered of all of the shortcomings this off season, this preseason, what if our kicker is toast? He's been an institution for a minute here at the kicking position, been very clutch. Appreciate all of his work. I think what's interesting, though, in reading these articles and kind of moving through all these ideas is he is not necessarily like old for a kicker, but is a considerably veteran kicker, is at the end of his deal, will be an unrestricted free agent next year, is somebody that if you're just talking cutting him and taking a little bit of a cap hit, it's not a Deshaun Watson. That's for dang sure. So I had not really considered this, and I guess I'm curious for you guys. Is this something where you chalk up the preseason with the kicker to being some sort of an indicator of how he's doing, or is this just like it happens, whatever, he's only kicked a couple of times, and in reality, like, let's wait until he misses a bunch in the regular season, or is the regular season too late and you want to be preemptive? But then if you go, like, it's a kind of spirals a little bit, because then you go like, okay, if we want to be preemptive and just get rid of him before we have any regular season issues, what if the next guy has issues because that hasn't been our kicker and he hasn't been anyone's kicker, and so like he's not, like, if he was good enough to be on a team, he'd be on a team. It's not, I'm going to say, a lose-lose, no-win situation, because I still want to, like I said initially, I hadn't even thought about this, so I would say, Jason Meyer, get the thumbs up, dude. He is our kicker until there are, like, red light flashing, sprockets flying out, like this thing is defective and it is about to detonate on us. Moving on to the next of the injury questions and issues that we have been dealing with. We've also got to we've got some moves going on, and Anthony Hankerson has been waived after his most recent performance coming in to run the ball and be some camp legs against the Titans. I don't love it. I don't hate it. This one is just a part of Schneider and company closing out the numbers and trying to move things down to closer to that 53 mark. Torrey Horton is a question. He has missed some time, and I guess in the shuffle of the last, at least for where I rank the issues that I think about Seahawks wise, is Torrey Horton had kind of fallen on the back burner because it was never really directly announced what his issue was. It was just, they've kept it, like, as this article that I found here said, Macdonald's kept things quiet. He's offered no timetable or even what's happened really directly, and that is understandable. Like we talked about the gray zones that Coach talks in and all that, but it's interesting. I feel like with everybody else this offseason, we've gotten at least some sort of indicator. And I don't want to say that this is like a Ketel Marte thing where we're going to see Torrey Horton at gambling at a casino, but there just feels like there's either he's injured and they're trying to get a myriad of opinions to see if there is any way back quicker or not, but that means that there is a potential for this to be something negative and issue-y. And I ask you, with Jake Bobo injured for the entire season, if Torrey Horton's out, what are your thoughts on, should Brian Flores, and this is entirely just us putting on our little fantasy GM hats and like playing in the comment section, fantasy Madden owners, but do you go more tight ends and really target Elijah Arroyo and try and have him take some of the pressure off of that depth in the wide receiving core, or do you go out and sign some other people and find some kind of the same? You'll see at the next list that we got for you. Everything is considerably, a used Chevy at this point. You're not shopping on the new car lot for anything that is left in the realm of replacement pieces now, including, that's where I said this article got 3 safeties courtesy of Sports Illustrated, which, it's AI slop generator, but still fun to talk about. Harrison Smith being the first one of the 3. Whoop-dee-doo. All of these are whoop-dee kind of do Basil to me. I guess the veteran thing to come in right now and be like, all right, like he knows what to do. 14 seasons in the league, Minnesota, Pro Bowls, a lot of buzzwords that I can be like, hey, can you hit us some support over the top for 2 weeks until we get something really more concretely figured out and maybe use some capital, get a trade going, or just the rest of the defense can adapt. And as long as you're not giving up the home run ball, and that a veteran is maybe like the guy to do that. Donovan Wilson is the next name, and maybe to move on from whoop-de-doo Basil to sad trombone. This is where, like, this is real. All teams do deal with this, so it's not, oh, woe is us, like the Seahawks are having to struggle through something that no other team is doing. But when you're looking at some of these, it's like, man, I'm not stoked to be in this position. The connection here with Coach AD, I'm down. Again, to rationalize it, though, as like you can bring him into, like, if they're going to target him, we might get exposed a little bit. But if he's picking up some of the slop, and we've got Witherspoon and we've got the front 7 providing a bunch of support, and Nicky Manwari's coming back eventually, like there are upsides still to this defense where it's like we could still be an elite defense even with having to put on what I will lightly dub one of the spare tires. Quadre Diggs being the last one. And yeah, like we have had this in the locker room. This is what that's seen in Major League, where you're like, man, I wish we had him 3 years ago. We did have him 3 years ago. I wish then we had him 5 years ago. Apologies for pulling up the Wilson information there. Quadre Diggs' career stats seem to. This is an ironic shot taken at Quadre Diggs. I seem to have not loaded the screenshot for that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I feel like what was a couple of days ago we just got to cut off some slough is now we got to have some uncomfortable conversations about how to patch up some of these holes. So I'm curious what you guys think. Drop a comment. Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, share, follow, all those other YouTube buttons. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.